evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Ria Rambali.
I'm Ryan Bateshu.
I am Jassy Maruk with sport.
And I'm Kay Marie Fletcher with your weather.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. 20 new PDOs issued as the state clamps down on a major trafficking ring.
Dundonald residents fear retaliation after a father and his baby are killed by gunmen. They want an end to the violence.
Even as the Prime Minister praises healthcare workers, there's concern that government may be moving to recruit midwives from India.
Coming up in sport, the West Indies women are still without a series win in 2026 after losing the third ODI against Australia.
Temperatures increased today, but the real story is unfolding offshore as an alert is out for all marine interests. I'll give you all the details in tonight's weather forecast.
Preventive detention orders are now naming key suspects and exposing their roles in an alleged human trafficking ring. It follows the detention of 54 people during a raid at a house along Marshall Trace, Monroe Road, Canoopia on March 17.
Lloyd Seeley was named as the owner and operator of the Mansion nightclub, which police say served as the criminal network's base. The raid uncovered 47 female foreign nationals, along with narcotics and items consistent with a brothel. Onella Seeley was identified as the accountant and manager of residential properties where female migrants were reportedly held. Authorities say she played a central role in managing the finances and administration of the group. Marvin Sheldon Boyce is said to have provided security at the establishment, acting as a bouncer. According to the PDOs, Robert Gabriel controlled access to the compound, operating the electronic gate system to secure the premises and restrict movement. Rudy Demba served as a security guard, while Stephen Roy DeFoe Jr. worked as a bartender and DJ. Police said the group ran a structured network to recruit, harbor, and control victims using threats, violence, and firearms to maintain control of the operation. In total, 20 detention orders were revealed today. 2 Venezuelan nationals suspected of stealing a vehicle at gunpoint are arrested after a high-speed chase and exchange of gunfire with police.
Police say around 8:35 p.m. a driver was plying his white Subaru for hire when he picked up 5 men along the Naparima-Mayara Road. On reaching Inverness Road in Bordenave, the men robbed him of a cell phone, cash, and his white Subaru. Officers intercepted the vehicle near the Eugene St. Madeleine Pond. One of the suspects started shooting at officers who responded with gunfire. 2 suspects, ages 22 and 24, were arrested, while 3 others escaped. Police also recovered 2 pistols at the scene. A resident says he was alerted by the victim banging on his gate, terrified and pleading for assistance.
He was extremely frightened. The guy was terrorized. Any help he could have gotten, but I mean, based on the current situation in the country, I wouldn't have taken chances to come out of my house. Right? I mean, there are situations that happen that people in this situation, they claiming that they needed help, but this time there is a robbery taking place. Right? I needed to confirm that exactly.
The search continues for the other suspects. A 47-year-old man has appeared before a High Court master charged with the murder of Cedrus cricketer Rashmi Deojit. Rakesh Jagannath, also known as Rakesh Lalman and Bolin, was remanded into custody after appearing before Master Shabana Shah. Police arrested and charged Jagannath last weekend for the murder of the 28-year-old woman who was killed sometime between March 17th and 18th. Jagannath was Deojit's friend. The residents of Dundonald Hill, St. James, are tonight calling for an end to bloodshed in their neighborhood as they continue to grieve the death of an 11-month-old baby boy.
But as life continues in the hillside community, the fear of further violence remains a major concern for the residents. Shane Superville and Neil Romain returned to Dundonald Hill for this report.
Residents of Dundonald Hill, St. James are calling for an end to violence in their neighborhood following the murder of an infant boy and his father. Early on the morning of March 31st, Joseph Sutton and his 11-month-old son Jaden were gunned down as they lay in bed at their Dundonald Hill home. Their murders were the latest episode of violence in the neighborhood. Dundonald Hill is approximately 551 meters in length and branches off from Long Circular Road, St. James, with several smaller road networks connected by narrow dirt tracks along the steep hill, an environment several residents say provides the perfect escape route for gunmen. Speaking with CNC3 News, resident Matthew Williams says the murders are worrying and they are deeply hurt by the loss of a child. He is appealing to criminals to stop the violence, reminding them that they were only hurting their neighbors.
So, for the killing and the confusion, I believe better to just stop that because that makes no sense. So innocent people dying, innocent children involved, and there's not studying the innocent of them. The youth said them studying themselves, and that's studying the innocent one of them who feeling the backlash of everything.
Meanwhile, another resident who asked not to be named said little Jaden's murder was one that resonated with him and many others in the community.
Me really feeling sorry for he, but you see the baby, that is my concern. You see that one hitting my heart because that child never do nothing. You understand?
One woman told CNC3 News that she is particularly disappointed in the lack of police patrols in the area, especially with a state of emergency in place.
Why is it that the officers and them not doing a daily patrol? Because as we all tell ourselves that everything will be quiet and it's okay? No, we need the police officers to still be patrolling.
CNC3 News sent questions in the aftermath of the double murder to the TTPS since March 31st, but received no response up to news time. A question on the murders was posed to Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander yesterday, but he would only say, "I love you all." For now, life continues for the residents here, but they hope they can avoid further violence by simply staying out of the way. Shane Superville, CNC3 News.
Police swooped down on the Port of Spain prison this afternoon. However, it is still unclear whether any illegal items were seized. Sources confirmed that officers of the Guard and Emergency Branch led the exercise at the Frederick Street facility, where searches were conducted. When our news crew went to the prison this afternoon, officers in tactical gear were seen in a marked police truck along New Street, where police officers enforced a temporary blockade preventing civilian traffic. Police would only say the joint exercise was aimed at securing the prison facility.
Well, still to come in the news, TSCT executives made Good Friday bobilies as CWU laments impending death of trade union movement.
Tobago registers high occupancy for the Easter weekend, but stakeholders worry that holiday tourism may not be sustainable.
Coming up in sport, a busy weekend ahead for young athletes with Carifta Aquatics and Athletics teams heading out.
Jason has watched every World Cup from here, but not today. Because he made all his purchases with Visa and won a trip to the FIFA World Cup 2026. Whoever uses Visa most wins. Pay with Visa.
Can you do this?
Welcome back. The Prime Minister is praising healthcare workers in her Easter message, but remains silent on growing concerns from nurses in the public health system.
CNC3 News has repeatedly sought comment from the Prime Minister on the ongoing impasse between nurses and the NCRHA, but those efforts have so far been unsuccessful. The situation continues to impact healthcare services, yet neither Kamla Persad-Bissessar nor the Health Minister has responded to a series of questions posed over several days. The only reference to nurses is a fleeting one in her Easter message to the Christian community, where she wrote that she acknowledges with deep appreciation the Christian community's enduring contribution to national life through service, education, and healthcare. Public Utilities Minister Barry Padaroth says government is paying close attention to the ongoing nurses' demonstrations.
It's been almost a week since nurses began their demonstrations. When asked about the matter today, Minister Padaroth stressed that it has the government's full attention.
There are many of the unions across the length and breadth of the country that supported us during the general election, that we have maintained and kept our promise. And NUGFW is one of those that recently had their matters settled. I don't expect that everyone will have their matters settled in one day's time. Rome wasn't built in one day, but at the same time, it is receiving our attention in terms of those that are outstanding. considering the challenges that we are facing.
Minister Padarath acknowledged the challenges facing unions and assured that in due course government will provide more details on the way forward.
Concern tonight over reports that the North Central Regional Health Authority may be moving to recruit more than 100 midwives from India.
The potential decision comes as local nurses continue to raise alarm over staffing shortages and unresolved salary negotiations. President of the National Nurses Association, Edie Stewart, is warning that the move could worsen tensions within the system. According to him, bringing in foreign midwives is not the solution.
What most of these nurses generally do, because English is not their first language, because of that language barrier, UK and the US often require them to demonstrate that they have worked in an English-speaking country before they can be registered within the UK and US and whatnot. So most of these nurses will just come to use Trinidad and Tobago as a stepping stone to get to foreign jurisdictions.
Stewart says because of a breakdown in communication with management, he was unable to determine the veracity of the claims. He says information obtained from secondary sources suggests the local regulatory board has already been engaged to process the foreign midwives. Meanwhile, Stewart is also keeping an eye on the government's response to actions being taken by nurses.
We hope the government is not planning anything to restrict the freedom, our democratic freedoms that we currently enjoy in Trinidad and Tobago, and they would not do anything to diminish the voice of persons who are just simply articulating their displeasure at the current status quo.
But efforts to contact Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo and the NCRHA chairman were unsuccessful. But today we asked if you are satisfied with the level of communication from the government to the public on matters of national importance.
This is what you had to tell us.
I think so because, especially when it comes to like Ministry of National Security, remember that's not something to let anybody know. Right, that would be a bad issue, but otherwise, yes, I think that at least letting us know what the plan is. She's doing what she said she would do.
No, they're not communicating because most of the time they don't know what they're going on, what they're doing until when they're done what they had to do. You understand? And that is not right. I don't like that.
Yes. Yes, I am.
They could do a little more. Like, every day. You be out there, like they say, you wrong the clock 24/7.
No. They just do things. Like you're not thinking of to inform people what they're doing. They want to use their own knowledge. You get me? Like them alone living in the world in Trinidad and Tobago.
Most of the times. I think they should do a little bit more research. Get the facts right. Sometimes it is not always right,
No, not clear enough. They need to give the public more on the debate on what is going on really and called the truth.
The Communication Workers Union is warning tonight that trade unionism is on the verge of collapse. Outside TSTT's headquarters today, Secretary General Joanne Ojiri said, despite Labour's presence in Parliament, leaders remain silent while workers continue to lose their jobs. She also raised concerns about the lack of unity among unions, especially those that rallied with the ruling political party.
Clyde Elder, the minister in the Ministry of Public Utilities, he was the most vociferous trade unionist. And now he sits in the seat of power in the parliament. We have Leroy Batiste, he was formerly from the PSA, and we have Ernesto Kiza. But where is their voice? What says Ansel Roche and the Joint Trade Union Movement as the head of JTAM?
During a lunchtime protest today, CWU members demanded accountability from Chairman Kern Das and two senior executives. They portrayed them as bullies and beat the effigies, accusing them of creating poor working conditions and questioning Das over a $165,000 retreat funded by taxpayers.
Here we have the Minister of Public Utilities telling the country that the chairman and by extension the board of directors of TSCT failed or refused to even update him, much less seek an approval for $165,000 spent. And the union is asking the question, who have more ranks, Kundas or the minister?
Ojir assured that the union will release documents related to the retreat invoices to both the Minister of Public Utilities and the opposition leader. CNC3 News reached out to Ministers Ernesto Kiza, Leroy Batiste and Clyde Elder. Now, Elder answered our call but did not want to comment.
The Foreign Affairs Minister says TNT has the support of over 100 nations, including CARICOM countries, for its bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. Trinidad and Tobago is a candidate for a non-permanent seat on the Security Council for the 2027 to 2028 term. The seat falls under the Latin American and Caribbean group allocation. Opposition Senator Dr. Amory Brown urged government to update Parliament on this country's bid, warning that recent foreign policy decisions may have weakened international confidence. But Minister Sobers was adamant that this country has the requisite support in the region and in Latin America.
This country's bid for a non-permanent seat on the UNSC for the period aforesaid is currently uncontested within the GRULAC region, which is a group of Latin America and the Caribbean states. Don't look so surprised. If you have information to the contrary, you could always say. I would want to also indicate that we do have CARICOM support.
Sanctions. Senator Brown, who initially raised the matter before the adjournment of the Senate last evening, said he feared the government would squander this important responsibility. He questioned how the government will fulfill the mandate of the Security Council, which he said is in charge of maintaining peace in the world, when the Foreign Affairs Ministry supported the bombing of another sovereign country.
It needs us to have a unique voice, to carry the voice of CARICOM, to carry the values of CELAC, to carry the values of the OAS into corridors where the others may not have access, to speak for the victims of war, not for the perpetrators of war, to speak for the victims of apartheid and genocide, not for the perpetrators.
In response, Minister Sobers said this country, once elected, will meaningfully represent the voice of CARICOM and other small island developing states.
The Security Council is the only UN body that can authorize military action. Let's tell you what's still to come in the news tonight. Point Fortin Borough Day celebrations just a month away, but organizers say they are yet to receive state funding.
If you plan to head to the seas tomorrow or over this long weekend, you'll need to exercise caution. Stick around and I'll give you the full weather report right after the break.
Introducing the new Sun Mix Nut Bar. Available in 3 delicious flavors: granola raisin nut, almond cranberry crunch, and coconut almond crisp. All packed on a rich bed of dark chocolate.
Taste the good life, snack right. Taste the good life anytime. Good life. Sun Mix.
Sunshine Snacks Sun Mix Nut Bar. Taste the good life.
It's Jay's exclusive Big Easter Sale. Get 25% off everything store-wide. All departments, no exceptions. 25% off. Jenny's exclusive Easter Sale. Jenny's, Princestown, San Fernando, Rio Claro, Gasparilla Mall, and M6 Plaza Chaguanas. Your low-price headquarters, Jenny's.
Diamonds. Brilliant. Rare. Resilient.
Some stars are born to shine.
Born to shine.
The stage will dazzle.
I am the music boss, the Diamond Edition.
Featuring the biggest Indo-Caribbean artists. Raymond Ramdarai. With a special guest, Indian Idol Season 14 winner, Vaibhav Gupta.
Hello Trinidad, I'm gonna join Raymond and I am the music boss. See you all on 11th April.
I am the music boss, the Diamond Edition, Saturday, April 11th at the COE.
Check online for ticket outlets or call 225-0391 or 798-1576.
This is your chance to save big this Easter because Bright Ideas Big Easter Sale is here. Bigger deals, brighter savings. That's the sound of prices getting slashed on all your home essentials store-wide. Unbeatable specials on glassware, cookware, utensils, and much more. Stock up now. Towels, 4 for just $100. Irons from just $85. Highest quality blackout curtains, 2 for just $99. That's a steal of a deal. Clean bed sheets, 2 for only $100. Huge savings on glassware, cookware, bakeware, and tableware. Post in style this Easter. Hurry in. These Easter deals won't last. Don't miss out. Head to the nearest Bright Ideas store today and save big, because Bright Ideas annual Big Easter sale is here.
Embrace life with Guardian Life.
Every sunrise brings a new beginning, a quiet promise that we're never truly alone in life's journey.
The Public Utilities Minister says government will be implementing water tank farms in 4 more areas in the coming weeks.
The areas are Maruga Tableland, Mayaro, Kumuto, Manzanilla. These tanks will add to the pilot project already established in Siparia.
Minister Barry Padarath says Cabinet has approved the project, which has an initial budget of $7.5 million.
Therefore, with the tank farms being resident in these communities, what it then allows for is a greater turnover in terms of delivery to persons in communities that traditionally would have suffered weeks on end.
Minister Padarath said government is also cracking down on private contractors stealing water from Wassa to sell to residents.
The current fine is $250 for the crime of extracting the water and $750 for selling it.
This is an offence. It is a matter that the Honourable Attorney General and I have been speaking about, that we will go to Parliament very soon on to increase those fines and penalties. These fines and penalties, I want to make it abundantly clear, has to do with contractors, private contractors who are stealing Wassa's water and then selling it back into the communities.
The minister was speaking at the post-cabinet media briefing.
Well, it's now time for the weather forecast, and Camry, I'm pretty sure everyone's interested in what's in the weather for this long weekend.
Yes, you know, there are a lot of activities planned, starting with Good Friday, and we have another holiday on Monday, so we're wondering, is it going to rain, is it not going to rain? And let's get right into it. Now, let's start with today. Despite the brief isolated shower in some areas, it was a generally sunny and breezy day. We did see temperatures increase from yesterday, peaking today at 32.4 degrees Celsius in Piaco and just under 31, reaching 30.7 degrees Celsius in Crown Point. For tonight, the Met Office says it will be mostly fair and clear. However, there is the chance of a brief late night shower in some areas. Temperatures are expected to get down to 23 degrees Celsius at Piaco and 24 degrees Celsius at Crown Point. Now, Good Friday. Well, Good Friday is looking like a good Friday to walk with your umbrellas just in case, as those of you in Tobago and East Trinidad may wake up to some pre-dawn showers, but that won't last all morning, as it is expected to be an otherwise fair morning. It may remain partly cloudy by late morning into the afternoon period with a few brief showers, but that's favoring hilly areas, and a low chance for an isolated heavy shower. Now, some of those conditions can also be expected in the western parts of Trinidad. Nevertheless, temperatures are expected to reach as high as 32 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow, now, we mentioned this yesterday, but I want you to pay close attention to this, as we definitely want to stress on it tonight. For all of you planning to head to the seas tomorrow, you are advised to exercise caution, as conditions can occasionally become agitated, and that's because of the possibility of intermittent and long period swells. The Met Office says seas are moderate with waves reaching rather 2 meters in open waters and 1 meter in sheltered areas. However, it can become occasionally choppy. Looking to the long weekend now, we're seeing similar conditions both on Saturday and Sunday. As the Met Office says, it should be mostly fair pre-dawn and early morning, followed by a medium chance of the heavy isolated shower or even a thunderstorm near the western parts of the area and offshore as well. So guys, if you're heading to the beaches over the weekend, please exercise caution. And for those that may be outside early morning for that procession for Good Friday, you may have some early morning showers to look out for.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people tend to flock to the beaches for the long weekend, so that advice is definitely useful. Thank you so much, K. Marie. Still to come in the news. A blogger shares his inspirational story, moving from homelessness to now providing shelter for others.
Jason has watched every World Cup from here, but not today. Because he made all his purchases with Visa and won a trip to the FIFA World Cup 2026. Whoever uses Visa most wins. Pay with Visa.
Only BioStrath gives your body more than 60 of the essential nutrients it needs every day in a product that's 100% natural for stronger immunity, enhanced focus, increased energy and stamina. BioStrath. Get what you need naturally.
At Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center, we're all about time. In fact, once you check in, there's no time to lose. Reconnect with a little family time. Make a splash with some pool time. Spend some treasured quality time, or just immerse yourself in some quiet time. Indulge your senses at dinner time. We even have the perfect venue when it's your celebration time. So it's high time you visit Cruise Inn. Choose our day pass or call 607-4000 to make your dinner or hotel reservations or to find out more about our event spaces. Take a time out at Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center.
Diamonds. Brilliant. Rare. Resilient.
Some stars are born to shine.
Born to shine.
This year, the stage will dazzle.
I Am the Music Boss, the Diamond Edition.
Featuring the biggest Indo-Caribbean artists. Raymond Ramdarai. With a special guest, Indian Idol Season 14 winner, Faith Gupta.
Hello Trinidad, I'm gonna join Raymond and I am the music boss. See you all on 11th April.
I Am the Music Boss, the Diamond Edition. Saturday, April 11th at the COE.
Check online for ticket outlets or call 225-0391 or 798-1576.
Join us at the Trinidad and Tobago Disaster Risk Management Conference and Expo from June 1st to 3rd. Step into 3 full conference days of presentations, panels, and learning labs that mirror real disaster risk scenarios, including national power outages, disaster risk finance, and sustainable urban planning, waste and debris management. Register now at www.ttdrm.com/register now.
Welcome back, and in tonight's Business Watch, after 3 separate stints acting in the role, Ian Forbes has been officially named Angostura Chief Executive Officer.
Peter Christopher tells us about this and several other appointments, as well as one young entrepreneur's attempt to bring more dining options to South Trinidad.
After 6 months acting in the position, Ian Forbes has been appointed as Chief Executive Officer of Angostura Holdings Limited. In a notice posted to the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange on Thursday, it was confirmed that Forbes' appointment took effect on Wednesday, April 1st. The notice also states that Anil Maraj will continue to act as Executive Manager of Operations of Angostura Holdings Limited and its subsidiaries for a further 6 months until September 30th, 2026. Forbes was placed to act in the position in October. There were other April 1st appointment announcements by Scotiabank, who welcomed Ambika Bisesa as Head of Retail Banking in the Caribbean South and East, and Ingram Bain as Chief Compliance Officer for the Caribbean South and East. Both were announced via notices on the TT Stock Exchange and in the media on Thursday. Also on April 1st, Catherine Payne took on the role of Chief Executive Officer of Digicel Barbados Limited. She replaces Natalie Abrahams, who stepped down from the role at the end of March. While many in the restaurant and bar industry are struggling, Nube Nueve owner Avinda Rampasad isn't shrinking, but expanding to South Trinidad. Rampasad says the offer presented a great opportunity, as he says there is a gap in the market.
For example, we are in Valpark. Valpark has about 8 other places that you could go and drink and dine. South Trinidad, if you really count the amount of restaurants, it's probably less than 20. In North Trinidad, we have over 100 restaurants, if you really analyze it. So in South, the options are much more limited, but it doesn't mean that the market is more limited.
Rampasad officially opened the Southern Nube Nueve earlier this week, but spoke at a private event last Friday where he expressed gratitude for the support he had from suppliers and friends in the business community who aided in getting the project finished. He says the support has helped the brand avoid the current foreign exchange shortages faced by many businesses in the country. The Caribbean Development Bank has approved a US $10 million line of credit aimed to financing small and medium enterprises in Trinidad and Tobago. CDB says the financing forms part of the Fort Agricultural and Industrial Line of Credit for Developmental Finance Limited. The package comprises a US $10 million loan from the bank's ordinary capital resources, alongside a grant of US $126,000. And now for a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices. Peter Christopher, CNC3 Business Watch.
Now for an update to the story we brought you earlier in this newscast about the Communication Workers Union's lunchtime protest. The Public Utilities Minister says he has no issue with TSTT giving the union all receipts related to the controversial Tobago retreat.
Now, the union has also promised to share the receipts in its possession with the minister and the opposition leader. This as the union continues to challenge the revised figure of $165,000. CNC3 News had exclusively reported that TSTT was invoiced a sum of over $437,000.
CWU Secretary General Joanne Ogier questioned why the chairman was allowed to approve such an expensive retreat without ministerial approval.
The Point Fortin Bora Day celebrations are set to launch on March 11th, but organizers say they have received no funding from government and are facing serious financial challenges. Point Fortin Mayor Clyde James says the Bora Corporation was saddled with a $300,000 debt after its main sponsor, Heritage Petroleum, withdrew support following last year's general elections. Despite the event being declared a national festival last year, he says their budget allocation for festivities was only $76,000 and they have received no funding from any government entities, despite their correspondence to the various ministries. CNC3 News contacted Ministers Michelle Benjamin, Satyakama Maharaj and MP Ernesto Keza, but there were no responses up to news time.
The Culture Minister reveals that more than $16 million was spent on the Flavor Village initiative for Carnival 2026.
In a written response to a question from Senator Janelle John Bates, the ministry outlined a total cost of just over $16.1 million. The largest share, $13.5 million, went to contracted services. Another $1.4 million was spent on promotion, publicity, and printing, while security costs totaled more than $725,000. Smaller sums were allocated for facility construction and short-term employment. The ministry also disclosed that contracts were awarded using a mix of limited bidding, single-source selection, and requests for proposals.
All right, it's now time for sport with Jassy, who is up next. Jassy, you found something interesting on your recent trip to Nevis.
That's right. While some swam for the competition and others for personal accomplishment, one man had an even deeper reason to brave the Narrows, and he's planning to do another. We'll tell you more after the break. And we'll also bring highlights from Game 1 of the National Basketball Championship Final.
Jason has watched every World Cup from here, but not today. Because he made all his purchases with Visa and won a trip to the FIFA World Cup 2026. Whoever uses Visa most wins. Pay with Visa.
This Easter, celebrate more, spend less. Only at Passat's The Food King. Easter celebration of value is here. Stock up and save big on your everyday favorites. Swiss Chinatown noodles, 454 grams, 2 packs for $19. Lucy tuna chunks in oil or water, 3 tins, only $25. Coca-Cola 2 liter, 2 bottles for $20. Fresh harvest season carrots, 4 tins for $20. Creamery ice cream, 2 gallons for $99. Dutch potatoes, 5 pounds, just $10. Lotus soybean oil, 3 liters for $49.99. Sierra chicken franks, 3 packs for $20. Matix peanut butter, 250 grams, 2 for $19.99. Perdix chicken nuggets, 300 grams, $19.99. Country Pride all-purpose flour, 10 kilograms, $59.99. Plus more incredible deals in store this Easter at Passat's The Food King. Offers end April 8th or while stocks last.
Quality value, that's our way. The real Passat's, we're here to stay. The Food King Passat's.
Is mealtime more of a chore than a cherished time? Does a lack of appetite keep your family, young and old, from getting the nourishment they need? Introducing Apetamin, the gentle, effective appetite stimulant designed for every age. Apetamin helps spark the natural desire to eat, turning hesitant nibbles into satisfying meals. Watch as food becomes exciting again, fueling growth, energy, and shared moments around the table. Give your body the gift of a joyful appetite. Find Apetamin in pharmacies nationwide.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
St. Martin is calling, and we're answering. Join Chris and Brent as they dive into this French Caribbean paradise from fun food challenges.
Do not come back here with passion fruit doubles, Chris. We will fight.
To unforgettable immersive island experiences. And a little liquor tasting along the way. Life's a beach. So enjoy their runway.
That was amazing.
Saturday at 8:30 p.m. only on CNC3.
Welcome back. It's time for sport now. Australia's women's cricket team completed a 9-wicket win in the third and final ODI, as well as a clean sweep of their series against the West Indies women shortly this afternoon. Batting first in St. Kitts, the home team had a decent start when Hayley Matthews made 34 and Deandra Dutton added 22, but they wobbled badly after that before Chanel Henry's 42 not out helped them to 136 all out from 35.4 overs. Alana King claimed 5 for 19 for the Aussies, who then knocked off the target for the loss of just 1 wicket inside 20 overs. Phoebe Litchfield made 68 not out as Australia recorded their 6th win on this tour after an identical 3-0 T20 series sweep. Well, there may be a sequel to one of the storylines of Carifta 2025, the double gold medal won by twins Tyreek and Tanique Vincent. Over 3 days in Mukurapo last year, the siblings competed in 17 events between them at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. They are now taking the show to St. George's, Grenada this weekend and relishing a repeat.
After 2 medals in 2024, Tyreek Vincent consolidated all his efforts in pursuit of the first ever Carifta Boys Under-20 decathlon title.
Since small, I'm always doing multiple events. I like doing jumps and the throws and the sprints, so I decided multiversity event for me. Last year was my first ever multi-event in the Carifta Games, and I got gold for Trinidad and Tobago. I will set a new record in the process as well.
This year, Vincent has his eyes set on a successful title defense in Grenada.
I have high hopes. I know my preparation was well over the off-season. I did a lot of speed work this time, focus on the throws, on the weak areas I am in right now, and so I know better than last year. I'm in a better position this year.
He's also focused on helping his teammates achieve their true level at these games, even putting his name in the hat for a leadership position.
I like teaching, coaching, guiding people. So I think as a leader will be a nice thing for the team. I know my focus and goals are set straight, so if everybody could follow in my footsteps or look at me, I know that would be a good asset to the team.
The day after Tyreek brought home decathlon gold, his sister doubled the Vincent household's jubilation with her own triumph in the girls' open heptathlon.
Well, it felt amazing going into the heptathlon for the 5th time for Carifta Games, and I was expecting to make the goal, and I did it, so yeah, it felt great.
In 2026, she's aiming even higher than Carifta gold.
Not just for my country, for my parents, but for myself. Again, I want to make the world's junior team as well, so I'm expecting that, and a PB, of course.
Vincent's wealth of experience on every Carifta team since Jamaica 2022 sees her, like her brother, uniquely positioned to help guide her peers. It's a responsibility she's happy to shoulder. Asked who's got her back heading into Carifta 2026, Vincent's list was extensive.
Well, I credit God, of course. He's the man. He made us. He gave us the strength and he gave us the talent to do track and field. My father, he's there with me all the time. My brother, Tyreek Vincent, and my coaches, and my mom.
The twins once again begin the grueling climb back to the top of the podium a day apart, but both equally confident they'll meet each other there. Jovan Ravello, CNC3 Sport.
And from athletics to aquatics, 39 of Trinidad and Tobago's best youth swimmers left for Martinique last night to participate in the 2026 Carifta Aquatic Championships. The contingent consists of 8 open water swimmers and 31 in the pool. Aquatic Sports of Trinidad and Tobago President Sean Pouchette says he is expecting a strong showing over the Easter weekend.
Marina Martinez would have won last year in the younger division, and she returns to defend her title. They have some new members, and they have been doing some dedicated open water training for quite some time with the training squad. So I'm looking forward to some good performances from that team. On the pool side, it's scored by points, so medals will be great, but I wanted to move up in the points table. We finished 3rd last year behind Bahamas and Jamaica, so hopefully we could ascend a bit in that category.
The championship runs for 5 days from April 3rd to the 8th at Martinique's Pierre Samo Aquatic Center. What is the connection between Germany, South Africa, Trinidad and Tobago, and Nevis? Well, here's the story of how one man connects all of those dots in the hopes of raising awareness for pancreatic cancer treatment and research. To any one of the more than 500 people gathered on Wally Beach in Nevis last Saturday, this was only swimmer number 295. Just another swim cap in a literal sea of them, about to attempt a 4-kilometer navigation across the narrow channel that separates Nevis from St. Kitts. 1 hour, 43 minutes and 36 seconds later, however, Jens Ulrich Poppin landed on Cockleshell Beach, St. Kitts, and proudly displayed the Trinidad and Tobago flag.
Today's swim here in St. Kitts is really for me only a preparation for a slightly longer swim, a 7.5 kilometer swim in South Africa in December. So the plan is to swim from Robben Island, where Nelson Mandela was detained for 19 out of the 27 years imprisonment, and swim from Robben Robben Island back to Cape Town proper.
An open water swimmer for less than 2 years, the 54-year-old isn't on some midlife crisis journey. In fact, Poppin's pending swim in South Africa this December is in the memory of his late father.
He's passed away in 2017, and after he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And I'm really fortunate to also, be able to team up with a local Trini organisation, the Johnny Sapka Foundation. That's the not-for-profit organisation that actually pushes, awareness raising and supports research into pancreatic cancer.
But what is the exact connection between a German by birth, South Africa, and Trinidad and Tobago?
Actually, my dad isn't Trini. I was born in Germany, lived in Trinidad for 20 years, and then became a citizen a couple of years ago. So this year means a great deal to me, as the swim does for in the memory of my dad. South Africa, I've chosen because I used to be a student there 25 years ago.
Looking ahead to his ultimate challenge, the attorney at law said,
it's essentially Maracas temperatures halved in, sort of halved. Sort of think about 13 or 14 degrees water temperature. So it's a cold water swim. And that's, I suppose, where the endurance aspect lies.
Reflecting on his Nivision preparatory attempt, Poppin said purpose pulled him through.
I have to say, the first time in my life in open water swimming, I got really seasick. So it felt sort of halfway through as if I had to give up. And I thought, no, I've come here to see the shoreline.
Do you feel as though he was with you on this one?
That is exactly what got me through the seasickness. And I hope by the end of the year it gets me through probably something that's even more testing.
Certainly will continue to track his approach to that swim in South Africa. Well, Apollo Arjun was the second Trini you just saw in that story. He placed 155th overall, clocking 1 hour, 32 minutes and 29 seconds for the trip across the Narrows. And he was an obviously delighted man afterward.
What was the highlight of it for you?
To finish. Yeah, man.
What made you attempt this? What was the motivation to strike this one off your bucket list?
I don't know. Maybe midlife crisis. We don't know. But it's ticked off. I'm very thankful.
What a response. Well, a very special mention also goes to Sharon Jones, the third and final Trini in that race. She finished in 2 hours, 9 minutes. Congratulations to them all. The Jean Pierre Caribbean Youth Netball Tournament, which Trinidad and Tobago will host from April 10th to 17th, was launched today at the National Cycling Center in Couva. As defending champions, there is quite some excitement around the 22nd edition of this competition.
The Jean Pierre Caribbean Youth Netball Tournament is the flagship of the Caribbean Netball Association and the nursery of regional netball development since 1998. This year's undertaking provides a skills-based display platform for under-16 netballers from Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Cayman Islands, the Commonwealth of Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and host Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, Netball Trinidad and Tobago President Debbie-Anne Francois stated that the legendary Jean Pierre would be proud of the strides this tournament has made through the years.
This is more than a tournament. It is a spark that lights the way for our youth, our communities, and our region. Jean Pierre believed in the power of young athletes to inspire nations. Her vision was to give you, the youth, a stage to shine. Today, we honor her by carrying that vision forward and by ensuring that every game played here is a step forward to the future she dreamed of.
That tournament will be played at the UE Sport and Physical Education Center in St. Augustine. Well, for our sport high tonight, Okogie goes over the top.
Houston Rockets shooting guard Josh Okogie had the awareness and agility to convert a miss into a monster dunk against the Bucks. Yes, predatory instincts activated on the putback over two defenders. So Okogie, for that board and score, you earn tonight's CNC3 Sport High.
Jassy, I'm really enjoying those stories out of the Nevis swim.
Yeah, there's a lot more to come. Certainly want to congratulate Jens Ulrich Poppin, Apollo Arjun, and Sharon Jones, the three trainees in that swim. And guys, it's going to be a really long weekend. We have swimming in Martinique, athletics in Grenada, and right here at home, Easter Grand Prix cycling as well.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing it all over the next few days. Thank you so much, Jassy. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488 or visit our website to order.
Get a free pair of polarized sunglasses with the purchase of new Gen S Transitions lenses with anti-reflective coating and frames. Selected designer frames now just $4.99 with additional promotions. Hurry, limited time only at Seaview Optical.
Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. That should big savings with our road hazard warranty on Dunlop, Semitoma, and Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Cuba, Chaguanas, and Pleasance Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973. or 636-2958.
At Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center, we're all about time. In fact, once you check in, there's no time to lose. Reconnect with a little family time. Make a splash with some pool time. Spend some treasured quality time. Or just immerse yourself in some quiet time. Indulge your senses at dinner time. We even have the perfect venue when it's your celebration time. So it's high time you visit Cruise Inn. Choose our day pass or call 607-4000 to make your dinner or hotel reservations or to find out more about our event spaces. Take a time out at Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center.
Internationally, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi has been fired from the Department of Justice. For now, she will be replaced by Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who Trump says will serve as acting Attorney General. Sources say Trump had been weighing the move for days and delivered the news in what one person described as a tough conversation. The president had grown frustrated with Bondi on several fronts, including her handling of records tied to Jeffrey Epstein and a lack of prosecutions targeting his political opponents. In a social media post, Trump says Bondi has a new job in the private sector.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
Plumbing problems? Don't guess. Call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646. Proud to be serving Trinidad and Tobago for over 20 years. We do it all. Maintenance and repairs, new construction, sewer lines, inspection, drain cleaning, leak detection. We are licensed and insured. So call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646.
Hotels, villas and guest houses in Tobago are reporting high occupancy levels this Easter weekend.
But stakeholders warn a few holiday spikes aren't enough to sustain the sector. More in this report.
Accommodation providers across Tobago are reporting strong bookings, with some properties nearly full. But President of the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association, Reginald McLean, says the industry needs consistency to thrive. He notes that late additional flights have meant some properties are still operating below capacity.
hotels need occupancy throughout to be able to survive. Having it just on a long weekend is not good enough, and the only way you get long-term occupancy is you have to have flights coming into the island. When you have flights coming into the island, people spend money, hotels are able to do their renovations and refurbishments.
McLean also cited global uncertainty as a factor driving visitors to Tobago. He said at his property, Blue Waters Inn, there are a few guests who cancel their vacation in Bali because of Middle East tensions. However, hoteliers and other businesses say their major concern is a reported CAL proposal to remove the subsidy on the Sea Bridge. Alvin Douglas, the owner of a dive shop at Storby, says Trinis make up the majority of his clients, and the subsidy removal would be catastrophic.
I think it's going to devastate the tourism industry in Tobago, because I've had my shop for over 20 years. When I started, 70%, 80% of the visitors in my niche, which is scuba diving and in-water activities, were foreigners. And over the years, it has changed to 80% Trinidad.
Karen John, who sells trinkets and clothing items at Storby, says business has been slow. The owner of Sylvia's food shop tells CNC3 News customers are even haggling for discounts.
It's like a long time. You used to see like more people for the Easter time. At time like now, for the past years, you would have seen here would have been like carnival, but not again. People are saying it's because of the economy.
UK visitor Nigel Johnson, whose wife is Trinidadian, believes only TNT nationals should benefit from the subsidy. He says international travelers are accustomed to paying high prices for short flights.
Because I can travel in Europe, a short flight in Europe, an hour or so, and I pay a lot more. I would pay several £100 for a flight. So when I come here and I pay $400 for return, which is about £50, that is incredibly good value.
Many visitors, locals and foreigners, say Tobago remains an excellent vacation option due to its affordability. Stefan Nicholas, CNC3 News.
And on a lighter note, from homelessness to hope, tonight we bring you the story of Princestown's self-made chef Sachin Ramlochan as he shares his journey from sleeping in a barbershop to building a life rooted in love.
The blogger, who cares for his ailing father, has received increasing followers since COVID. Radhika De Silva and Ivan Tulsi bring us his story.
For 3 years, Sachin Ramlochan called a barbershop home, sleeping in a small room, waking up before dawn, and working long hours just to survive as he coped with the death of his mother.
About 3 years to 4 years after. That was kind of hard. I was like 21 years, yes. And so working, come and lost the house and land. I ended up homeless. I lived in my barber shop for 3.5 years, going 4 years.
But today, Sachin's story is one of perseverance, purpose, and hope. Now 38, Sachin says those difficult years shaped the man he has become.
I always have a goal that one day I will do good and have my own roof over my head.
With the help of his brother, Rupesh Kamal Ramlochan, he learned the skill of barbering, and what started as a small shop grew into a steady business and a passion.
So I was at work till about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Sometimes Christmas Eve I work until 2 o'clock in the morning.
Sachin says success is not just about business, it's also about giving back. So even during his hardest times, he hosted toy drives for children and found ways to help those in need. Today, he cares for his ailing father, Puran, and continues to share positivity, both in his community and online. Sachin says life will knock you down, but what matters is getting back up. This, he says, is a powerful reminder that even in life's darkest moments, hope can still find a way. Radhika De Silva, CNC3 News.
great story there.
Yeah.
All right, well, as we leave you, let's remind you to stay connected with us on our social media platforms.
There you'll find tonight's stories, the latest updates, and exclusive content. And don't forget to pick up a copy of the TNT Guardian newspaper.
We've come to the end of the 7 p.m. news on CNC3. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maria Rambly.
I'm Ryan Beachu.
I am Jassy Marie.
And I'm Kay Marie Fletcher. Have a good night.
This country real backward. You can't even report crimes online. Actually, since 2020, you could report your crimes online. And it's fast, easy, and secure. Let me show you how to do it in just a few simple steps. First, visit our official website at www.ttps.gov.tt. Then, click on Report a Crime, located at the top right corner of the homepage. After which, choose the option that suits your concern. Report a crime or report a suspicious or abandoned vehicle. Next, read the disclaimer, then fill out the form giving